Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking your precious time and coming here on such a rainy and wet day, and especially weather is changing, so many people are falling sick also, but you still took pains to come here. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve Guru and Govinda's mission. Today we'll be talking about aspects of devotional service with example. So, those who are coming for the first time, this is the Mahamudra given to us by Sri Prabhupada, and this is the only thing that we perfect in our lives. Our lives will be perfect. And he mentioned that Krishna, Krishna's service, and love of Krishna are the three greatest riches of life. So, if you have this, you don't need anything else. And this is one of the rarest and toughest thing to get in life. This is our aim. And Shukdev Goswami was talking to Krishna and compared it to water of Ganges, which purifies everything. So likewise, the speaker, the inquirer, the person who asks questions, and all people who are listening about Krishna, they all become purified. This is Shukdev Goswami's declaration. So today, we'll be talking about devotional service. So Sri Goswami defines it in the Bhakti Samsam as Anyabhalashta Shunyam Jnana Karamadi Anavatam Anukuliyan Krishnanam Shilanam Bhakti Uttamam. If anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, unalloyed means basically which is not tainted or contaminated by any other emotions or thoughts other than just serving devotionally. And when we are talking material contamination, basically we are talking that, okay, it's not give and take relationship. Like, okay, I give you my devotion, what do I get in return? This type of thought process should be clear. And when you are also away from those people, now some people may be having good control, self-control, but the thing is that if you are in mud, it's very difficult to remain clear. So if you are away from that association, or keeping it to bare minimum where it is necessary, just keeping that, because otherwise you will become sannyasi. So if you have that, and then one person actually is favorable to get cultivated in Krishna consciousness, and that is called pure devotional service. Again, everything about devotional life can be explained very easily, but it's very difficult to follow, practice, and realize. So that's what we are struggling for. So I'm coming to a situation which I've came across this verse, and this I find is one of the most intimate and very deep meaning conversation. Generally, when we are living with our parents, it's a one type of relationship, but when we get into marriage, that relationship becomes slightly different, it's more intimate. So in this pastime, and this is a pastime which you keep reading and you keep getting different and different realizations. So those of us who are not aware, Rukmani was the first queen who Lord Krishna married. So she is like in Hindi you would call Patrani or Maharani or the chief queen. So she had, and Lord Krishna was always with her, and she was always willing to serve. That was her mode. And so when he was sitting there, so she took away this chamar, or basically a fan, which is made of tail of an animal, so yak tail. So she was just airing him because so that she just to serve him and make him comfortable. So instead of maid service, she was serving herself. So in this backdrop, Lord Krishna realized that she's always peaceful and calm and serene. And generally it so happens that if you are coming against a very saintly person, initially you like, but sometimes you start feeling bored. So he thought that, okay, let me just tease her, let me see how she gets irritated. And so he thought that, okay, let me just do in such a manner, because generally it's say that when you are quarreling with someone, then your relationship becomes more intimate, because when you are quarreling, you are expressing some emotions. So keeping that thing in mind, he thought, let me just find it. She was such a saintly person that it was very difficult for even Krishna to find any fault with her. And so he was just teasing her so that he gets some reaction out of her. And the backdrop was that there was this Parijat flower. So he had got one Parijat flower from heavenly planets and given it to Rukmini. So his other queen, Satyabhama, got very jealous and very angry, and she said, I want to have the entire tree of Parijat from heavenly planets. I don't know how you go. So he had to go and fight and then get entire tree for her. But so he was surprised that Satyabhama got jealous just because I gave Rukmini one flower and she wanted the entire tree. And how come that I have given her the entire tree? But Rukmini is not saying anything and she is very calm and silent. She is serving, and I can't even detect that she feels any jealousy or anything like that. So he said, okay, let me just get her angry or upset. Let's see how she reacts. And since she was daughter of Bhishma, so he did not refer to her, because generally those who are like our spouse or brother or friend, we generally refer them by name. So he titled her as princess. So he expressed his surprise that, what did you see in me that you decided to marry me? Because in those times there was something called Swamvar, like there will be many suitable suitors which will be in one place of court, open place, and there will be some contest or something like that. And the princess will be selecting her own bridegroom from those people. So he was asking that there were so many able princesses who are all were very powerful, rich, handsome, everything, but he did not choose any of them. And there was one person by the name Shishupal, who happened to be his nephew, Krishna's nephew, and who was very powerful. And Rukmini's brother Rukmi and his father Bhishma both had decided that we will actually marry her. But Rukmini was not of that opinion. She wanted to marry Krishna only because she had heard about Krishna. She had not even seen, never, and she had not seen anybody else. So she just wanted to marry just based on what she had heard about Krishna. So she had sent a message with a Brahmin that please come and kidnap me, because they are asking me to marry somebody who I don't want to marry, so please come. So when Krishna came, so Krishna just kidnapped her in this chariot and eloped with her. And his brother stopped the forces which are trying to stop them. So he was saying that if you marry this King Shishupal, who your brother and father wanted, then he will be totally your slave. Like whatever you wanted, he will be doing like that, and he will be totally faithful to you. You did not marry him. So why did you do that? And if you look at it, there's nothing in comparison. He was rich, and whereas I'm coming as a cowherd boy, he had everything, I have nothing. So basically, he's trying to convince her that I'm unfit. And you are so beautiful, so mature, whereas I'm such a wild person. So I can talk to my beautiful wife because you decided to marry me. But I find it difficult to understand why did you not? Because generally you are talking about marriage amongst equals. That's supposed to be equal partnership. But here there's no comparison. You are such elevated person, I'm such a fallen soul. Why do you want to marry me? And definitely I'm inferior to all those princes who had come there. So this way he was instigating. And this time, then he says that, okay, since you are married to me, but it's better that later than never. Why should you be suffering with me? Why don't you just leave me and I'll accept it, and you go and marry some suitable person? Because I think you are not knowing about me, what sort of person I am. So why should you not go and marry and take another option? And this was happening when Rukmini was already happily married to Krishna for many years. She had many grown-up sons who were married, and even they had kids. So basically, she's grandmother. And at that time, he's saying. And while hearing this, now this is how Krishna was provoking, and Rukmini had never heard anything such harsh and such sharp thing from Krishna. So, what was her reaction? So she started, instead of getting angry, she started anxiously. Why is he saying this? Is he trying to leave me or something? And Krishna was always with Rukmini, so she had never seen anything like this. And so she was like shocked. Why is he saying something like this? Because have I done something wrong? Because then somebody says, okay, why don't you choose another option? And then we try to get uncomfortable. What have I done wrong? What's the problem? But only thing that was troubling her was that, is Krishna going to leave me? And strangest thing about Krishna is that Krishna loves everybody, yes, but those whom he loves them to be perfect, pure. And here Rukmini started feeling a little bit pride. Okay, so I have Krishna with me all the time. I'm so fortunate. Even that Krishna termed as pride. So that's why he was doing this pastime. Of course, he was just having fun with her, but he was actually rectifying this thing also. So that's a academic or theoretical explanation for that. But all Rukmini could think, she could not think anything else, that now Krishna is planning to leave me. And that's the worst thing that could happen. And generally, it's the fear of most of the devotees. So she knew that my husband is king. At the same time, he is the lord of the world. But why is saying like that? So she started feeling fear. She was not getting angry. She started getting more and more scared. And suddenly, she realized that she could not take it anymore. She just started crying silently so that he could not see. Her head was down, so he could not see her crying. But suddenly, she was so traumatized that she just fainted. And saying that within that short notice, she lost her body weight also. So her bangles started coming off, and also like it was such a shocking experience for her. And she just fell down. Now, Krishna just wanted to have fun, and of course, he wanted to correct her, but he was not anticipating that his words would be so harsh on her. So, what would she do? She was wondering. So, he immediately realized, and then he started pacifying her. He just simply told her that actually this type of small exchange of words do happen. We are not talking fight, we are just talking about loving exchanges. And I was just thinking that you were just taking sportingly, but you just fainted. And I was not anticipating this. My idea was not to hurt you. Why are you feeling like this? So he started pacifying her, like how you do to a small child, to an innocent child. So he was realizing that she is very innocent and she could not understand the joke of it. So he just pacified her. So slowly she started calming down. Okay, he's not leaving me. Because generally, when you are dealing with a very small child who's being very naughty, and you threaten to leave, you realize the child forgets everything else, forget about all naughtiness and everything, just leaves and just runs, try to clutch you. Because the child knows that I was just playing, but this person is getting upset, so I cannot afford to lose that person. So that's why when the child gets pacified, same way Rukmini also got pacified. And she slowly starts smiling. Now, the crux of the thing is that how she started responding to all the detailed points which Krishna had raised. So she said that, okay, you are saying that we are not fit combinations. So you said that you are not fit, but you are rightly saying that you are the personality of Godhead, whereas I am just an ordinary human being. You are the person whom even demigods worship. So how is it possible that we are equals in any case? And basically, there are modes of nature like goodness, passion, and ignorance. I am a combination of that. Even though goodness, mode of goodness or sattvic nature is supposed to be good, but when you are actually very advanced devotee, even though that goodness acts as a detriment. So she was saying that I am still stuck with those modes of nature. So how can we be perfect match? You rightly said we are not a match, but she's now putting the other way around. That you said you are not worth me, but I take it this way. You are right because I am not worth you. And then you are saying that you are afraid of kings, and you have to rush. Incidentally, that Dwarka place where Krishna's kingdom was, it's now actually you can still go on Dwarka in Gujarat in India. You'll find that there are some remnants of that kingdom still under the water because Krishna's kingdom was being attacked all the time. So he created a different kingdom altogether, Dwarka. So she is pointing out that the kingdom over the sea. So when you are talking about material world, so obviously we are not talking about this type of kings. They are not basically material modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. They are the controllers of the world. And you are in everybody's heart. So basically, since you are not in touch with anybody, so there is no doubt about it. So basically, who is this king you are afraid of? And you also said that you are having enmity with kingdoms. Yeah, you are right. Because material senses control everything. So you are definitely not favorable towards them. And you are not control of these. Basically, they are the Rishi, you are Rishikesh, so you are controller of all senses. So how can they be having friendly relation with you. Obviously, so you are having an enmity. So you are right on that point also. Then you said they are bereft of royal power. That's also correct. Because since you are not bothered about material supremacy, so are your devotees. You'll find that all the devotees you talk about, they are not concerned or they are not attracted or enamored by material world. They are talking about spiritual fulfillment to be with Krishna. So if your people who are in love with your devotees, they don't care about material world, so obviously how can you be materially touched? Because everything belongs to you in any case. And then you said that you are an ordinary person with a, you don't behave like ordinary people, you don't have any particular age. But then all your devotees are also like that. And the people who are materialistic in nature, they don't understand the mood of a devotee. They think that, okay, what's a crazy person? And the devotees don't even bother to correct. Okay, yeah, you think I'm crazy? Great. No problems. As long as I'm doing my thing, you do your thing, I'm happy, you're happy. So I'm okay, you're okay. They go with that attitude. People think that, okay, devotees are crazy or cynical and all, but it's okay. They are just serving you and that's it. So if your devotees are also mysterious, so obviously how can we understand you? So you are right on that also. And you say that you are penniless. But being penniless, does it mean poverty? Because generally, if you study real renounced people or sannyasis, they don't have anything. In fact, sannyasis' condition is that they cannot stay in one place for more than 4 days. And in fact, those who are in deeper condition, they live under tree for 4 days and that they leave that tree also. So if your devotees are like that, so what can we expect from you? And you say that you don't actually own anything, but fact of thing is that you are the owner of everything. Even material thing comes from you only. So how can you say that you are penniless? Okay, you are penniless, but that penniless does not mean that you are any poor person because everything belongs to you. So you are the richest person. First of all, you have everything. You have given it to everybody else. You are not attached to it. So basically, you are richer than even the richest of the people. You cannot even categorize like that. And when you say you are poor, how are you poor? Because even demigods are asking, okay, we are faced with this problem. We talk about any demigod, they in the end they go to Vishnu or Krishna only, okay, please help us. So how can you be poor in any case? So she's refuting all the charges which Krishna was saying that why am I bad? And you say that that only poor people worship you. Like this is the term in India they call like Darid Narayan. But she said that you are talking about people who are only poor, they only poor. That's also correct because those who are rich, they are so greedy that they are focusing only on that, and the poor person when they get some money, they are also getting attracted by that. So because they are so ignorant, so obviously why will they worship you? And you also mentioned that those who are nothing, those who are actually poor, they are the ones you like because they have renounced everything. The only thing is that they want to possess you, they want to be with you, they want to just serve you. So Narad Muni, you can say that he is poor person, but is he really poor? He is happy and he is eternally your servant. So those people they don't want anything other than you. So you are right on that count also. And then you are saying marriage of equals. So but then how can that be a suitable match if you look at it? You think can be perfect only when you are there in the picture. Because you are the person who has perfected all this, you have 6 opulences, you have everything. You are the everything actually comes from you. So if you have everything, so how can anybody equal to you in any case? And those people who have knowledge of this or little bit knowledge, they just want to be at your service. They just want to realize you, they just want to be with you, they want to just serve you. So that you become the ultimate goal of life. And to achieve this, all the knowledgeable people, they give up everything just to be with you. And then you said that basically only beggars praise you. But that's also correct. But who are those beggars? Beggars are not that they were born in poverty since I have nothing else, so I am a renounced person. That's not the case. They are all exalted devotees. And they are also trying to perfect their lives. So if a person is not focusing on money, that does not mean that person is poor. Those people who are actually focusing on spiritual life are the richer people. And by and large, you will find that many devotees, when Krishna wants them not to struggle, they give money also. Basically, money also comes from him. And basically, where is money coming from? Basically, if you look, the another word for money is Lakshmi, who is another consort of Lord Vishnu or Krishna only. So she said that basically when I understood all these things. Based on that, I realized that I would rather follow this example of beggars rather than the so-called rich people or intelligent people you are talking. So that's the reason I'm also begging for a lotus feet only all this time. And you say that you are penniless. That's also correct. Because you are totally distributed amongst these great souls. So obviously, so that's the reason there was no suitable person than you. And even time is under your control. Basically, you are time itself. So what happens with the person you find? For example, if she had married some material person, that person would age away and die in any case. So they are all ordinary princes. As per your definition, they may be strong, but if you understand actually, they are all very ordinary people and mortal people who will die in any case. So what's the point being with them? And you say that you are afraid of princes, but my experience is opposite to what you are saying. Because if you say that you are poor, helpless, and all those things, then how could you kidnap in front of all this? And not only kidnap, you actually took away from them, and they just could not do anything. So, what sort of riches and what sort of powerful people they were? They just couldn't do anything, and they could just look at helplessly, and they just couldn't do anything. So that is contradictory what you are saying, and that. Your devotees, generally it is said that those who become devotees, they are only suffering. That's not happening. We heard of people like Ang, Prithu, Bharat, Yayati, Gaya, they were all emperors of the world. And when they had everything in their hands, then they gave up everything and they choose to become devotees. Or as per Krishna's definition, they became beggars. But they wanted to be serving you. And that's the reason they gave up everything just to be with you. And when they did that, what they actually lamenting? They were not. They were actually happy. Were they grieving? They were not grieving. So that is contradictory. And then you are saying even now, when actually I have my children's children are now born, you are asking me to leave you. How is it possible? Because everything comes from you. And if I have to go to any other place, where would I go other than you? Where can I leave you? And in any case, if you don't want to leave, that's your option. And this is the mood of a devotee also, that if Krishna decides to leave us, that is Krishna's option. But for us, even that is okay because that is coming from Krishna. But we don't leave Krishna because it's Krishna's choice. Krishna has free will, but we also have free will, and we choose consciously to be with Krishna. And that's what the thing. And our ambition or material desire is always that we serve Krishna. So it doesn't matter what you think about me. If you want to leave, you leave. But how do you expect? I bless me that I'll always be serving you. That's what. I don't want anything else, just to be serving you. And then you are talking about Shishupal, who would be my perfect slave, then Jarasandha and Dantavakra and all those things. But who are they? Incidentally, the Shishupal and Dantavakra were this Jay and Vijay, which were the gatekeepers of Lord Vishnu in any case. This was their third birth as Shishupal and Dantavakra to basically suffer their curse. So she was comparing them to animals, like they were like beasts of burden. They just always behave like dogs and cats. They have nothing else to do. And it has to be very unfortunate woman who has not heard about glories of you. But anybody who knows will choose not anybody else but you. So this is how she is contradicting him. And she is saying that you don't care whether I'm beautiful or not. You are not concerned about it because physical beauty or mental beauty, these are not things which are of concern to you. So if you say that you are renunciate, it's very natural. Whosoever is the person, you are not attracted to anybody. You are attached to me or not, it doesn't matter. But let me be always focusing on your lotus feet. And if you say that you can be passionate with me, yes, because that's your choosing. But even if what you are saying that is a bad thing, but I still say it's the biggest boon for me because it's coming from you. It's only everything which comes from you is auspicious for me. So having heard all this, so then Krishna declared, yes, what you are saying is actually correct. And this is what actually I was expecting. So when Krishna is saying something, it's not a game of table tennis that you see the ball coming, but it's like a move of chess. Suddenly Krishna place castly move and you don't know, okay, which pieces moved where and what is Krishna meaning. We don't know unless Krishna has mercy on us. So Krishna was actually expecting that she will behave like this. So he said, basically, I just was checking what's your consciousness, and you are totally right. I was trying to cheat you, but you were not cheated. And every point you have explained so beautiful that explains how advanced is your consciousness. And whatever you have said, everything is correct. And that's the reason I would choose to be with you all the time. Whosoever is there, anything happens, I'll always be with you. And I always with my devotees. If they want something material also, there is nothing contradictory about it because they are my devotees, so it's their choosing. So I give that also. And one thing which is not mentioned here, Krishna was also impressed by Rukmini by one thing that he said there were three things. First thing was that Rukmini was attracted to Krishna when she had not even seen him, met him, or had any experience about him. She just heard about from other people. She was not thinking about any man or anything, but she was getting of marriageable age, and when they start of marriage, she only name came to her mind was Krishna and nothing else. So he said that just the thought of me not being there before your wedding happens to somebody else, you are willing to commit suicide also. So that is your unalloyed devotion and attraction towards me. That was one thing. Second thing, when we were getting married, and at that time, your brother Rukmini was trying to chase me. And that time, I got very upset with him because he was very insulting. So I was about to kill him, and my brother stopped me. So I shaved his half head off, so that and then after that, Rukmini got so upset that insulted he won't go, and he never went back to his kingdom. He remained outside kingdom, living in a hut only. That I'll always be here only. I will not go because I'm so insulted. And he became sworn enemy of Krishna. And later on, there was one gambling session going on where Lord Balram and Rukmini were playing. And of course, he was always hostile, so he was again insulting out there. And he tried to cheat Lord Balram. And Lord Balram got so upset. And yeah, when Rukmini saw that Krishna is taking away Rukmini and then he was about to be killed, Rukmini did not say anything. And Rukmini was not honorary brother, he loved her and she knew and she also loved him very dearly. But she said that, okay, I'm about to marry this person and my brother may be killed by this person. But no, I still want this person. That was her consciousness. And when they were having this gambling session, at that time, Rukmini saw, because Rukmini was also seeing this gambling match happening, and she saw that her brother was cheating. And then Lord Balram got up and straight away cut his head off. So Rukmini died right in front of Rukmini. So when her young, loving brother died right in front of her eyes, she still did not say anything. She did not even raise any finger. She did not think anything. She just kept her head. She just grieved for her brother, but did not say anything. Says that your only thought, Krishna says, was that you would lose me if you take favor of you favor your brother. So all these things put together, you had such deep love for me that I am totally sold to you. So whatever happens, I'll be always there for you. So this was the consciousness of Rukmini, and that was the realization what Krishna also had about Rukmini. So with this, I end my session, and if there's any question or answer, or any discussion, any comments, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yes, Lord.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. How can we create such a love for Krishna? Can you say?
This is short poem in Hindi. They used to say, करत करत अभ्यास के जड़मत होश जान रसरी याद जाते सिर पर परत निशान. So what it means is that by constantly exercising the same thing over and over again, we perfect ourselves. Like you see this in India, we have many wells, and I've seen in Finland some other wells. But when you are having well and you are taking bucket with a rope, and then it is making when you are actually drawing water from the well, and this rope is touching the stone. So actually, there is no comparison between stone and rope, but that rope over a period of time, she starts going, and even the stone actually starts getting worn out. So if stone can be changed, so why can't we? So if we just keep on practicing, like there's a saying in English, like fake it until you make it. So if you continuously think that we love Krishna, over a period of time, we'll actually start loving Krishna. And when Krishna sees, okay, these people are putting so much of efforts, so obviously, why would Krishna not favor? When Krishna favors everybody, the very fact we are here is because of Krishna only. Krishna has some moods. Sometimes he just wants to play with us. Like Jai Vijay were, what was their fault? They were just trying to solve small 5-year-old children who are trying to come and meet Lord Vishnu. So as gatekeeper, they were right that our Lord should not be disturbed. But the minute they heard this, those 4 Kumars, they just cursed him. Okay, so you have to take 3 birds as enemy of the person who you are serving. Basically, Jai and Vijay loved serving Vishnu. And they were faced with a curse that where they would hate them. And that's why you saw that how difficult it was when Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu gave in first avatar, and then Ravana and Kumbhakarna. They were so powerful that every demigod was scared of them. And Krishna had to come as avatar. And even in this Dantavakra and this Shishupal, it was the same story. So even then, if he was serving, helping all of them, why would not help us? Does it answer the question?
Yeah, but okay, we must remember Krishna always. But practically, how we can, what is the practice? How we can remember Krishna in every, step of our life?
Well, the thing is that there is trouble which all of us have, and in fact, why I keep reminding to myself this Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. This is a reminder, constant reminder that I must remember about Krishna. Hare is basically internal energy, internal energy of Krishna or Srimati Radharani. Please help me and guide me, so Lord Krishna. Basically, these constant reminders. Okay, let me put it this way: that you go to many homes, you realize that many people have some sticky notes in their fridge. Okay, I must not forget, so I put it like this. So why do we do that? Because we don't want to forget, but we know that the minute we go to sleep, sleep is also seen as temporary death. When we go to sleep, we forget everything, and then when we wake up in the morning, chances are we forget everything. That's the reason we have those reminders. So same way we keep reminding. That's why we have this Kanti Mala, so that it keeps reminding. Okay, when you are waking up, you realize, okay, there's something in that. What is it? This Tulsi, this devotee of Krishna, and then you go to bathroom and you say, okay, I'm also wearing, like you are wearing this kavach of Lord Nrsimhadev. This is again Krishna's energy. So basically, and when we are putting tilak, we are saying that it's a lotus feet and like tulsi leaf, we are just trying to serve. So basically, consciously, we are physically trying to remind ourselves that we have to serve Krishna all the time. Of course, we keep forgetting, and that's the reason why Srila Prabhupada says that the last attack of Maya, who's Maya? Maya is basically the Durga Devi, who's the jailer of this jail or material world. She's always trying to tempt us to check, like Krishna was checking Rukmini. Rukmini had left everything for Krishna, and when she's grandmother, he's saying, why don't you just leave me? So he was checking everyone at that stage. So if Krishna can do that, of course, his energy, Maya or Durga Devi, she's also tempting us all the time. And that's the reason even saints say that, oh God, please spare me of tests. Because we can be as advanced as possible, but if the minute we say that, they're saying like a good thief remains a good thief till the time he has some fear of getting caught or is scared of getting caught. The minute he loses that fear, that thief is also not good. I'm giving such a small, stupid example. So you can imagine if a thief has to be a good thief, so he has to always be fearful. So even devotee has to always have that fear that Krishna can leave me anytime. Or I may forget Krishna, forget about Krishna leaving me, I may be able to forget Krishna. So that should not happen. That's the reason we keep reminding ourselves. So constant reminders, and that's what this practice is all about. So whatever we are doing, if we just thinking, that's why when we keep Krishna in the center of everything, we will not forget. And when Krishna says, okay, he'll see that, okay, we are being stupid, we are making mistakes, but Krishna forgives all those mistakes. Because if you see that in Jaya or Vijay's case, they were always lovingly serving, but then Krishna got bored, okay, they are always serving me. Okay, then it was a pastime that, okay, 4 Kumars come and curse them for 3 lives, okay, and they are banging their head. They had option, okay, that 3 lives as enemies or 6 lives as devotees. Then they thought, no. I think if we just do 3 lives as enemies, that will be faster, so we can go back to serving. In fact, in Hindu culture, somebody said that Rama was perfecting this Virodha Bhakti. Like generally, you say that if you are trying to love somebody, somebody will actually not bother much. But when you start hating somebody, that person actually gets bothered. So Ravan was following that method. Okay, if I am just irritating him, chances are he may just pick me up within second life itself. He may not have to go to another birth. But people won't find that easy to understand. That's another thought process. But focus is that, again, they say that hate and love is on the same side of the opposite side of the same coin. But if you are, you'll find that most of these devotees who are cursed or something, they were one way or the other, they were always thinking about Krishna. Even Kans, he was. Why do you think that when Shishupal, they were so bitter enemies? Like when Shishupal died, there's a glow which went from his body and so entered Krishna's feet. Same thing about Krishna, Kans also. Kans' body, when he killed Krishna, there's a light which went and entered Krishna's feet. So basically, enmity or but they were constantly thinking only about Krishna all the time. They are fearful, they are hating, whatever. But idea is that they are focusing only around Krishna. So whether you are going this direction, opposite that, okay, I must go away from Krishna or I must go to Krishna, but Krishna still remains in the focus. That's the point. Does that answer the question?
Partially.
What partial part is not answered?
It was good answer, but you know.
No, please don't qualify my answer as good or bad. What is the doubt? You come with that. Because that's more important.
Practically, okay, we must always remember Krishna. But for example, you wake up, you put tilak, you take shower, you see your Nishima Kavacha.
Yeah.
But you say that in every action what we do during a day, we must remember Krishna. For example, you go to work. Practically, how you say that Krishna must be the center. So how Krishna is center of your life when you are working and doing things. So how we can see that everything is connected
I'm sure
to
you must
Krishna.
have studied mathematics in your school and you must have studied calculus in that.
Yes.
So there is a thing like tends to infinity.
Mm-hmm.
From 0 to infinity, the integral calculus and differential calculus is always between 0 and infinity. Infinity is which cannot be counted. 0 is the starting point, but infinity is the end point where there is no end actually. So we are saying tending to infinity. When we say we must try, we are talking infinity. Like we have to keep on trying. But we must does not mean that actually we will become successful. But our attempt is to do that. Like success is not the end. Success is the journey. We are consciously thinking about that. Consciously. And many times you realize that it's only our fear. Why do you think we keep on chanting? Because we know that we will be making mistakes. We will not be forgetting. That's because we are in material world, under material modes of nature. We will be making all these mistakes. Even in Satogun, still we may get lazy. We may make mistakes. But when we are consciously thinking, that's why we are fearing all the time. Because success, this life is our preparation, and death is the examination. And at that point of time, just when I'm just passing away, my last breath, will I be thinking about Krishna? That is the thing. If we can do that, that's the same like all is well that ends well, or Andhadhato Sambhala. In the last breath, like we saw, there are videos of Sri Prabhupada. It's very difficult to watch, but when he was breathing his last, he was still talking about Hare Krishna. That was his perfect life. That's why we are trying to follow him rather than anybody else. That is a conscious effort, and that will be success of our life. I'm not saying that we'll be failing. Maybe we will, mostly. But the thing is that still we are continuing in that. And as Arjun was told by Krishna that even if you fail in this lifetime, maybe next lifetime, where you have reached here, next life will start from that point onward. At some point in time, we go back to Krishna. Of course, we are greedy, we want to go within this lifetime to Krishna, so that's why we are putting more effort. It's our anxieties which are stopping us, but we try. And if Jay and Vijay had to wait for 3 lifetimes, so what can we talk about us? It's Krishna's will. And he was willing to leave even Rukmini, who was always serving. And Srimati Radharani, which comes from internal potency, he had to leave when he had to take higher responsibilities. So Krishna does that. Nanda and Yashoda, they were crying, and all that all the Brajvasis could never live happily after Krishna vanished from their eyes. So Krishna also tests. It's not that it's always about sweetness. Sometimes bitterness also comes. So, but Krishna is seeing that are we putting efforts? And that's the perfection of our lives. We try to succeed or we die just trying to succeed. Either way we are successful in any case because as long as the focus is clear. Does that answer the question now?
Thank you.
You don't look like what it seems.
It was good.
Any other question? Yes?
And just a comment that we can actually be grateful that we have a temple, we can come to see Krishna at least once a week. So we can be grateful.
Mother, you can come here anytime.
Yeah.
Why once a week?
It's a heavy burden for my body. So
No, that's okay. That's a burden for all of us. I can also give many reasons, but fact is that if you want, you can be anytime. And the thing is that when the old age advances, when you are not able to move or something earlier, that's bad. So even coming to temple would become a very big ordeal. So, but conscious focus that as long as we are thinking about Krishna, because it's quite possible that when we come to Krishna, but still our mind is okay. What is the appointment? What is my schedule for the next day? Or what is my plan for the next week, or next life, or whatever. So even though we may be here physically, but mentally we may not be here. So focus is to internalize this thought process so that even in our thoughts we are thinking about Krishna. So even if you are at home, you don't feel okay, even once a week I can't go to temple because today weather was bad. Many people could not come. And maybe next week there is suddenly warm, like how I like weather, and you feel happy to come here, but you say, okay, it's too tempting, I might not go. So, but the focus is as long as you're thinking about Krishna, all is auspicious and all is well. It doesn't matter where we are physically. You may be coming in I was trying to be here before time, and I ended up talking to Tenu Prabhu, Prabhu, please forgive me, I'm waiting for the bus stop because this Sunday schedule, so bus is not coming. So what can I do? My will was there, my body was waiting there, but I was still not able to come here. So the consciousness is more important.
The struggle also, as you
Of course, Krishna is always testing, is playing with us. He is a very playful person. Yes, Madhuri?
Maybe I have similar question to them. I have been thinking about it, how to not just to finish the morning japa, but how to stay whole day in this peaceful, blissful mood, because sometimes it's like the morning hour is so peaceful, there's silence, bliss, and then when the kids start to wake up and the day starts, it's kind of anxiety and like, why do I have to finish? Because I don't want this day, I don't want to, I start to dream when I'm finally, this day will be finished and I can go to sleep and again wake up and to be in the silence.
Mataji, thanks for raising this point, but if you realize here, you are saying that you feel happy when you are chanting in the morning. So Arjun was consciously thinking about Krishna all the time, but when he was given this task, you have to kill your own relatives, your own loving teachers and ancestors, people who are there in front of you. He did not like that, but he had to, even he was arguing with Krishna. In fact, Bhagavad Gita was just to pacify him. Of course, there were other purposes also, but he had to speak entire 700 verses just to convince Arjun that why he should fight. So it's not that we will get perfect life in our situation. But another aspect is that why do you see kids as disturbance or family as disturbance? If you see that Krishna has given you opportunity in the form of kids, or Krishna has come as kids in front of you. So why are you waiting for going to Golok Vrindavan and just serving only Krishna? It's quite possible that Krishna has come as your daughter or your son to you, and Krishna is expecting you to serve here, because it's quite possible Krishna wants to see that how do you treat me here when I'm coming as different body, not in the mental concoction you are thinking about me, and I'm coming to you as your daughter or your son. And are you seeing Krishna in me? Because once you start seeing Krishna, that's the perfection of life. That when we start seeing Krishna in every person around us, when we see that even this ant, or like in English we call silverfish, is going out there, Krishna is in his inside. So obviously our life will become perfect. So 24 hours we are automatically seeing Krishna all the time. So you won't see your kids as nuisance. You will say, okay. So Krishna has come here, now Krishna is harassing me. Like when Yashoda Maya was also very angry when milk was burned and then Krishna was breaking all the pots. But that was Krishna's pastime. So if you see in your children also, and your husband also, Krishna, obviously then you will not see as burden. You will say, okay, I was chanting, but now, okay, they want me to do this, I'll do this. This is another service just now. For example, you ask Devu Prabhu, he was peacefully chanting, and my session was supposed to start earlier, and I was like, Prabhu, it's not working. Prabhu, please help. I'm trying to chant, just press this. And I'm still like, Prabhu, please help me. Because I'm very good once this thing connect, not before that. So Prabhu. So he did not see me as a nuisance. He said, okay, there's a hassle person who is not intelligent enough to do this, so I'll do this. So he was helping me. And there's another Prabhu, he had come to hear what I have to say, but he ended up helping me just to be functional. So what is this consciousness? This is what it is. They're just saying, okay, Krishna now asked me, put me in this situation. Okay, I was chanting, so Krishna is saying, can you come back to chanting, or can you do this thing while still thinking about me? So that is the same thought process.
So whatever happens at home with me and kids, that all is like
No, but
Krishna
what-
whatever. So,
But the thing is that Krishna is in your heart also. Why do you think that you are not a part of Krishna? And why do you think your children or your family is not part of you or part of Krishna? They are. That's our realization. That's our struggle. Once we start realizing that, then everything starts becoming smooth. You realize that when you are, they say that static friction is greater than dynamic friction in physics. They say that when you are just about to start your car or you are starting to push something, it is maximum struggle. But once you start moving, then it becomes easy. So the minute you start seeing Krishna all around you, things become very simple. Before that, it is struggle.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.